Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial, oh, it's so adorable. It's these cute little jack-o'-lantern shirt pins. I love these. I think they're, first of all, I love them because I think they're adorable. Second of all, I think of how crazy you guys could get with the different faces. I did go onto the internet and I Googled actually jack-o'-lantern faces, and then I just kind of zoomed in to a good size that I liked, and then just traced it on my phone on a piece of paper, and then cut it out, of my felt. But you guys can do whatever you want to do. My faces measure, what was it? I said it in the tutorial now. I don't remember what I said. Just about 1.5 inches wide, and then like the little triangles, they're the widest part at the bottom is 1/2 inch wide. So that'll kind of give you a little bit of an idea of the size of your faces. And then the whole little pumpkin, the little jack-o'-lantern from widest is just about 2¼ inch. Maybe if I go down a little bit it'll come, yeah, just about 2¼ inch. So they're on the smaller side, but you guys can use whatever hook you want to use, and just use your 4-weight yarn, and you can make these as big as you want to. Having said that, let's just go right ahead and get into the supplies. So I did use Red Heart Super Saver, and the orange, oddly enough, is a pumpkin. So that is my orange. And then if you notice, I have a green, well, it's maybe a little harder for you to see. There you go. I have a green and a brown stem just because I wanted to see, which one I would like better. And I kind of like the green better, which I know doesn't really make a lot of sense because you don't make a jack-o'-lantern out of a pumpkin with a green stem. All of their stems are already dead, so they're brown. But I just like the green better. I don't know. Anyway, the green I used is Patty Green. And then the brown I used, all Red Heart Super Saver, 100% acrylic, is Coffee. So you guys can use whatever yarn you want to. For this, I did use a 4mm hook. So if you wanted to go up to a 5, obviously it's going to be a bit bigger. And then if you go up to a 6mm hook, it's going to be a little bit bigger. All right, so there is that. And then the other little supplies you're going to need, I'm trying to get them on my little filming mat, will first be fabric tack, and that is used to glue the faces onto the pumpkin. And while I have it in my hand, a craft pair of tweezers. That's why mine looks so junky, because it's for all the different crafts that I use it for, not my face. And then you're going to need some E6000. This is a industrial strength glue, and this is what I used to glue my back on. Now, I've got these backs off of Amazon. I'll put the link in the description box for you guys. You get the little post, and then you get the little, I don't know what you would call that, a little back. I will say I probably wouldn't use these again on the pumpkin. I would rather use this little kind of back, and I'll put a description or a link in the description box so you guys can get those off Amazon. The reason being is just because I think it's a little bit sturdier, and in my mind what I was thinking that I was going to do is that I could put the shaft of this pin through the pumpkin, glue it, and then, the pumpkin, or jack-o'-lantern, the pin would go, through the back. But, and you can tell this is the one I did it on, there's so little of a stem of the pin to use that by the time it goes through your shirt, you get like just a tiny bit of that pin. And I thought, yeah, that's going to fall right off there. And in my mind, I'm thinking a teacher make these, or, you can gift them to a teacher, and they have that on their shirt, and a kid will go to, mess with it, and it fall right off. So I didn't like that. And then what I did is I just used the E6000 and just glued the stem to the back of the pumpkin, which, I mean, it's on there pretty good. It's not going to come off. I wish I would have used the longer ones, the ones on the back of this. I like those better. So I will put a link in the description box for both of them, and then you guys can use whichever one you want to. So there's the glue. Here's that. I'm going to put a link for the backs. And this is a little ghost I made, which I'm a little ashamed to show him because he's so old. His little face is coming off. I accidentally pulled on it. But if you guys want the tutorial for this little ghost, and you can have a ghost and a pumpkin, I will link my tutorial in the description box. But anyway, so that, try to keep everything so you guys can get it all. My hook, glue. All right, now let's move on to 2 stitch markers, a needle to weave in your ends, a pair of scissors to cut, but I want you to have a pair of scissors that has a sharp tip like that, because that is going to come in incredibly helpful whenever we are cutting these shapes out of our felt. So you need black felt scissors, preferably with a sharp tip, E6000 fabric tack, your orange and green or orange and blue, whatever you guys want to use, yarn, 2 stitch markers, a needle to weave in your ends, and a hook and your backs, and a tape measure just in case. All right, I'm done yapping. Get your guys' supplies together and let's get started. Alrighty, so to get started, I need to pull you back just a bit. All right, we're gonna get a slip knot on our hook, and as always, make sure you have plenty of tail to weave in, just like that. And we're gonna start with a chain of 2, 1 and 2, and we're gonna go right back into that very first single crochet with 8, or I'm sorry, with the very first chain with 8 single crochet. Stitch marker. All right, so we're gonna go right back in there with 8 single crochet. 1, and I'm gonna mark my first. 2. Get that tail out of the way. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now you can pull that tail just a little bit, but we will weave in that end later. Okay, so that is the end of round 1. Now what I want to do to end, well, I say the end, to officially end round 1, we're going to slip stitch to that first single crochet. Right in there. Slip stitch, chain 1. And for round 2, we're going to work 2 single crochet into each of the crochet or the singles all the way around. So we're going to go 2 right back into the same one we just slip stitched into. 1, 2. So I'm going to stop and mark my first one right there. All right, now I'm going to work 2 in each of the remaining single crochets. 1 and 2. 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 All right, so now we should have 16 singles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. And then if you look, that little bar right there, there's our slip stitch. There's that little bitty chain 1, and there's our first single crochet. So don't get confused and then accidentally single crochet into that. All right, so that's the end of round 2. For round 3, we are going to, well, I'm sorry, slip stitch to our first single crochet to end round 2. Chain 1, and again we're going to go right back in there with 2 singles. Oh, pulled that right out. 1 and 2. I'm going to mark my first one. Right there. All right, now we're going to work 1 single crochet into the next, 2 single crochet into the next, 1 single crochet into the next, and that's what you're going to repeat all the way around. So we just did 1, so we have 2 into the next, 1 into the next, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and into the very last one with 1 single. All right, now you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 single crochets. And again, to end round 3, we're going to slip stitch to that first single crochet. Chain 1. All right, so that is the end of round 3, and I will be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I heard something outside, and I think it was just a UPS. Anyway, so to move on to round 4, right back into that same single crochet that we slip stitched into, we're going to work 2 half doubles. So go right in there with 1 and 2, and I'm going to mark my first half double. All right, now we're going to half double into the next 2 single crochets. 1, 2. We're going to work 2 single crochet into the next single. 1 and 2, and then single crochet into the next. Now what I want you to do is pull up your loop, and I'm going to get my other stitch marker, and I want you to find your last single crochet. So right there is that little bitty bar. There's my slip stitch, so I know there's my last single. So I want you to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and mark the 4th stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there. Mark that 4th one. And now what we're going to do is repeat the 2 single crochet into the next, single into the next, 2 single, single, 2 single, single. Repeat that until the stitch right before that stitch marker. So we just did the 1 single, so now the next one gets 2 single crochet into the next, 2 into the next, 1 into the next, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1 into the next, and then into the last one before that stitch marker, we work the 2 single. Turning my notepad over. Okay, so now we are going to work 2 half double, or I'm sorry, a half double into the next 2, so take out that stitch marker, half double into the next, half double into the next, 2 half double into the next, all right, now go right back into that same single crochet and work a slip stitch. Just like that. And then you should have one more single crochet. Go ahead and slip stitch into that. Chain 1, pull up a loop, and that is our pumpkin. Okay, go ahead and cut your orange. Pull that tail to the back. And here's what our pumpkin should look like so far. All right, so now you can use the brown for the stem or your green for the stem. I think I kind of like the green better, which I don't know why, because that's a ripe pumpkin and brown is the pumpkins that are ready to go, but I like the green better. So I am going to go ahead and get a slip knot on my hook and make sure I got plenty of tail. All right, we can go ahead and take this stitch marker out. And now what we're going to do is into that same last single crochet that we just slip stitched and fastened off in, we're going to attach with a slip stitch. So go right in there. Oh, this is really hard to see on camera. Try that again. There we go. I'm going to pull that tail tight. And we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet into the second chain from our hook. So right there. Single crochet into the next chain. And into the next chain. And into that last chain, we're going to work a slip stitch. And now we're going to come right back into the stitch that we slip stitched to attach into and work a slip stitch. Chain 1, pull up a loop, and we are done with the stem. So easy peasy for that part. Well, this whole little pumpkin is easy. So I'm going to pull that tail tight to the back, pull this tail tight, pull the orange tail to the back. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to weave in all these ends, I'm going to do it off camera. I'm not going to make you guys watch me do that. And I kind of like it to where my stem sets to, with my pumpkin facing me, this is to the left. So I'm going to weave in my end, but kind of catch the orange just to secure it to lay to this side, to the left. And now if you are using, if you're going to use these little pins, I recommend, I did this on a different pumpkin, I don't know which one it was. I actually weaved in my middle tail, took this little post, added some glue, and then put the post through and then let that glue dry. And then I realized, man, that just doesn't leave much for the post, for the little pin part to connect to. So, I mean, if you want to do it that way, you're more than welcome to. Maybe your tension or your yarn or what have you works better. I would suggest with these to just use your E6000, glue the post on the back. So completely weave in and close this center tail. Hot glue. E6000 glue, and glue that to the back with the post just sticking off the back. I did that with the rest of mine and it worked perfectly fine. Or if you have, I got one sitting right next to me. Hold on. If you have one of these backs, would probably be better. And you could just, you know, use your E6000 and glue it in the middle or at the top or wherever you want to put it. But I would really recommend these instead of the ones that I show. There's my little ghost. He's fallen apart. He's been hanging on my wall for years. If you guys want the tutorial for that, if you go to my channel and just search, in my channel, search Google or ghost shirt pin, it'll pop up. Anyway. All right, so off camera, I'm going to weave all these ends in, and I will be right back. Okay, so I have all the ends weaved in on my little pumpkin here, and you can see right there that tail. I tried to catch just a tad bit of that orange and then weaved it in through the stem, so that way the stem lays to the left. But you guys don't have to do that. I like doing that. But anyway, so now what we are going to do, well, I've already done mine, but all you have to do now is trace out a little pumpkin smile and a triangle, or you can do, you know, circles. You can do like little crescent shapes, whatever shape you want for your pumpkins. And all I did was I traced them out and cut them out, and then I laid them on my pumpkin, and I thought, okay, is that a good size? Do I want to go bigger? Do I want to go smaller? So my little face, the smile, what? There it went. My smile is roughly from the widest to the widest, a tad bit over 1.25 inches. So right there, I have no idea what line that is. So right there's the 1/4 inch. Right there's the 1/2 inch. So right in the middle. I don't know what line that is. Anyway, that's how wide my little smile is, and then my little triangles are probably about 1/4 inch wide. Yeah, about 1/4 inch wide. But you guys can make them however big or little you want to. And then what I do is I lay out the shapes on my felt. And it really, really helps if you have scissors with a sharp tip. So if you can see, the tip of these scissors are a lot sharper than like these. See how they're pointy? And I got these off Temu, actually. You can see how sharp they are. And another pair of scissors that would be really good is a pair that you get from a manicure kit. Those really sharp little scissors. But all I'm going to do is just cut out a little shape. And then once I have a little piece that I can work with, that's when I start actually trimming it to the right shape. And now the sharp tip will come in very, very useful whenever we start cutting the mouth. So just like that. Now if you want a nose on your jack-o'-lantern, use that triangle, but just turn it upside down. And then you can put it over that hole. But definitely place everything that you cut out on your pumpkin before you glue it, in case you don't like the shape or you want to change anything. Actually, this, I could probably... I'm being quiet, I'm trying to concentrate. Okay, so there's an eye. All right, one more. Can I get it out of that? Maybe, I think I can. Holy cow. I realize this is probably really hard for you guys to see on camera. I'm gonna trim that just a tad bit. Maybe I'll make that the nose instead of that because it's a little wonky. All right, now you just follow that same concept for the mouth. Let me get this laid out. I'm just gonna cut a chunk off. Actually, I don't think I want to use these scissors. I'm not liking them. I think I'm gonna go to these. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut out the shape first. I'm not going to cut out the little squares just yet. I'm just going to cut the shape. So hold that the best I can. And I actually have, I'll just do it to show you guys. If you have a hard time cutting felt and holding the little bitty face, I have actually, in the past, taped my shape to my felt. Where did I say? Oh. And that helps hold it. Just like that. I'm going to trim up this little corner. So you got the initial shape, and now we can go in with snipping the little squares out. And then what I do is, so you can see my little square sticking up. I go in there and snip. It's almost easier if you come from the back. So if you snip the shape right here and right there, and then just push that to the back, then you can really get in there. Come on. Snip that shape out. All right, I am not gonna make you guys watch me do this on camera. I'm gonna go ahead and finish these few little squares and I will be right back. Okay, so I got those last, oh no, I forgot one. Dang it. I was in a hurry. Push it to the back. Okay. Now I got them all. Then I just pick up my tape, pull that off, and then clean up anything that I need to. Like, I can clean that up a bit. All right. It doesn't need to be perfect. Now, I'm gonna set my little mouth. Try to make it look nice. And this is where the tweezers come in. Okay, so now, if you want to put the stem, this is a piece of tape, the stem of our back through your pumpkin and then glue it, you are more than welcome to. I'm not going to, just because I don't like how much of the little shaft it leaves for the back to go on. But if you want to go through your pumpkin, go right on ahead and do that now. Put a little bit of E6000. Let me move that. Right in the center, right on that center circle, and then push the stem of the back through your pumpkin, and then let that set and well, you don't have to let it dry, just put it right through there. And then if you got some glue kind of on the back, go ahead and just use that and glue the back of your, or glue the nose to your back like that. But if you're not going to do it like me, go ahead and we can just wait till the end to do that. But what I'm going to do now is put all my things back the way I had them. These are my craft tweezers, so don't judge. I know they're bad. I'm going to lay them out, lay all the pieces out just the way I want them, or where I want them. And I'm going to get my fabric tack. I'm going to get the glue to the bottom. I don't know, there you can see it. See how it's all settled, well, to the top I should say. See how it was all settled to the bottom. But I'm going to let it get into the tip. We don't need a whole heck of a lot, so I'm going to be careful and just get it to where it comes down this little funnel part and right to the end. There, you can see how it came out a little bit. I'm going to take my I pinched some of the yarn and just doop. And then swirl with the excess and put it right back. Kind of dab it down. Pick up your next one without picking up the pumpkin. Put a little, I'm squeezing there we go. Put a little dot on the back. And then the string that comes up, just twist it like whenever you're getting your ice cream at a restaurant out of one of those machines. And at the end, you twirl it so it makes a pretty twirl at the end. Okay, now I'm going to get my nose. Do that same thing. Just like that. Come on. Put it right in the middle. And do the same thing with the mouth. I'm actually going to lay the mouth on my table and then just try to drag the glue, which is not working. There we go. Okay. I'm actually just going to use my fingers because I got glue all over my tweezers now. And I don't want to get it on the front of my felt. Just lay that down just the way I want it shaped. Somewhat of a smile. And there we go. There is that part. So now I'm just going to turn my whole little jack-o'-lantern over. I'm going to get my E6000. Give it a bit of a squeeze. And you can see some of that glue come up. Doop. Just like that. And push it right in the center. Right in that hole in the back. And then I'm going to let that set. I will probably let it set overnight just to make sure all of the glue I've put on there is dry. And yeah, so once that is completely dry, let's set this to the side, you will have an adorable little shirt pin. And you can go crazy with the faces. Like I said at the beginning, I Googled different faces and traced them out on my phone, from my phone, and I had a blast with that. So all right, thank you guys for watching. That is the end of this little tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you would, please, if you make one of these, I would love to see it. So in the description box, I have links to my Facebook group, my email, my Instagram, my what is it now, X. Anyway, so check out the description box. I got all kinds of links down there that you guys could post and follow me or tag me in your picture, what have you. But I would love to see what you guys make with these. I love seeing that kind of stuff. Like on my Facebook group, when people post what they have made that's mine or my design. I love that. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't so you don't miss what's next. And I'll see you in the next one. Oh, and you guys are the greatest. I love you all. All right, bye.